Hello and welcome on 360 Sport on Trust TV. I am Adini Ajishafe. Well, right now, Nigerians are waiting to see what two teams from Nigeria, Plateau United and Rivers, will be doing as they are going to be facing, Libyan teams. Is a big one because the North Africa, really, they've dominated CAF interclub competition. What are they going to be doing concerning this after crashing out from CAF Champions League to CAF Confederation? And now the draw was made and they are going to be facing two teams from Libya. Now we look at that story. First story, it has to do with CAF Confederation Plateau United to face Alkder of Libya as Rivers United battle Nasry of Libya. Well, two teams from Libya will be facing Plateau United and Rivers United after they were dislodged from CAF Champions League by other set of North African team, Experience and Wydad Casablanca. Well, from the way it is right now, people are looking at what would they do? Would they be able to sustain this? Would they go through to the next round? I have in the studio Ikena Okoko. Good to have you, Ikena.
Thank you so much, Joseph, once again.
Now, let's look at this. We couldn't make it against Experience and Wydad Casablanca in CAF Champions League. Both of them dropped to CAF Confederation, and the draw was made just yesterday. And you are seeing another team from Libya, two teams rather from Libya, Alkder, and also you have Nasry from Libya, are going to be facing Rivers and Plateau. Do you think they can escape this? Because it's as if the North African teams are like a bane to our moving forward in the CAF Champions interclub competition.
And it will always remain so if we don't do the needful. You know, football is an action thing. I mean, it's a garbage in, garbage out thing, if you like. What you give to it is what it gives to you back. So we can't continue the way we do things and expect a different result. It's not going to be possible. It has never been possible. I mean, in the past 4 years or 4 seasons running, Nigeria is on record that no Nigerian team has ever gone past or entered the group stage of the CAF Champions League. Quite pathetic for the most populous country in Africa. And a country that used to be the powerhouse of football in Africa. I mean, we've had it so good when it comes to football in Africa. We've dominated. We've had our teams. Our team, actually, I mean, one of the clubs that we have in Nigeria, Enyimba, win this CAF Champions League that we are now looking like underdogs in. They won it back to back, 2014, 2004,
2003,
2004, 2005, like that. So why is it that instead of us to move from there to see how other teams like Plateau United, like Kano Pillars, those that have tested that stage, I mean Rivers United, why can't they at least move even beyond group stage? And then we're talking about group stage, you can't make it. Now, the Confederation Cup, the second tier. Now, we are facing the nemesis, the North Africans. Why are they nemesis? Because they have got the right strategy, the right component, and the structure of football in their various countries. It may interest you to know, of course you know, that most of their players prefer to play in their own countries
than going out,
than go to Europe or anywhere else, because they are paid better monies, they are given the right infrastructure, and of course, the TV and everything is going normal. So how do you want to go and compete with people that have everything going well for them? So, you know, I will not expect any miracle even against Libya in the Confederation Cup, because of course, football is football, whether it's Champions League, whether it's Confederation Cup, whether it's whatever you call it. Our league is still trying to battle to play a bridge league for the new season, and to whether IMC will call, they have been listed, those that have been the IMC.
They have not been inaugurated.
Management committee.
They are yet to be inaugurated.
So you could imagine the kind of mess we have found ourselves here.
Okay, I will hold you there. I will hold you there. Let me just hold you there. While we are talking about Plateau United facing Alkder of Libya, we also have Rivers will be facing Nasry, also of Libya. Well, just like Ikena said, is going to be a nemesis against Nigeria right now. North African side, they really see football as business. And we need to do it like that. Well, we want to compete against a country or countries that have really made sure everything goes well with their league. Now, somebody will be joining us from Kaduna. That's Tunji Oyeleke. Tunji, are you there?
For having me.
A good one. We've been before you join us, we're talking about CAF Confederation. That's where we find ourselves right now. Plateau United will be facing Alkder of Libya. Rivers United versus Nasry of Libya. This is where we are, like I said earlier, fighting ourselves here is very painful because one of those days where we compete even to the final and eventually we won it. Talking about Eyimba, 2003, 2004. But right now we're struggling even at the group stage. To even qualify for group stage is not an easy task for Nigerian teams. What's your view concerning this? Rivers, Plateau against Libyan teams.
Well, sadly, we keep getting drawn against these North African teams. They have always been the team that have the teams from North Africa have always dumped us out of CAF confederations, and it's pretty unfortunate that till this very moment we've not been able to find our way across North African teams, and that's simply because we ourselves we've not looked inwards yet. Just like your guest in the studio has said, most of you find very few North African footballers, leaving their own country, to go. In fact, they hardly ever leave that region of Africa to go outside to go play European football, because we won't say that the level is at par with what they find in Europe, but they are more comfortable, they are more contented playing in that region. You find Tunisia, Egypt, you find Tunisians playing in Morocco, you find they usually don't leave that region. So that tells you that we ourselves have a lot of work to do right here in Williams side, but it still looks like it's not enough, because even in the clubs, the administration of clubs in our country here, Nigeria, is very, very poor, very, very poor. And it's very, very unfortunate that we still cannot compete with the standard of football that we see in North Africa. I have friends who have played in North Africa, and when they come home, we discuss and we talk. And the standard of organization of their leagues is something different. Just like your guest also said, he said something about playing abridged leagues. It's only in Nigeria you find all of these things. And how can we go far in CAF competitions when we ourselves cannot even vouch for the standard, for the quality of football that we play in our own country? So a lot of investment has to go into to take our football. How many of us can actually when the home base Eagles go out to play? How many of us can beat our chest to win this game? We can't. We are not confident at all. So we ourselves have a lot of work to do, my brother. We have a lot of work to do, and that's the reason why we are where we are.
Okay, now, while you're actually talking about that, I want to pick you on what, if you remember, the club owners met with the NFF president, and they outlined some problems facing MPFA. At least let's take it from the bedrock, where you have to get the foundation done. All these problems, they outlined them, and they talked about lack of fund, integrity, talking about officiating, talking about a lot of issues here and the sponsorship, TV right, and all of that. How are we going to do this thing that it can just work? Our league is not on TV. You tune your TV, you watch Kenyan league, you watch South Sudan league, you watch countries that on a normal good day, they are not even up to a state in Nigeria. They have their league, everyone can see what's happening, no matter how it looks, but they have it. You can see what is happening, and that will reduce issue of officiating irregularities thereabout. You understand? What do you think we can do before I come back to Ike and Okonkwo in the studio?
The truth of the matter is, it's all about administration, my brother. It's all about administration, because once you get administration right, you get a lot of things right. And the same thing with the clubs, the administration of clubs. Most of state governments, we should not be. Even the state governments right now, how many of them are actually concentrating on putting things right? I mean, Kaduna today, Kaduna, there's almost no footballer. You go around the 20 clubs in the MPFL, for example, and it's very difficult for you to not find a Kaduna boy in those teams. Go around, you can do your research, go around, you will find someone that has played in Kaduna. I mean, the captain of the Super Eagles today, Moses Simon, is a Kaduna boy also. But Kaduna does not have a recognized football team. We don't. We don't have one. So you ask yourself, then what are we doing exactly? So it's about the clubs. We need to have clubs do their own assignments. We need clubs to do their own work. We need clubs to have quality marketing departments. They need to go out there, get sponsors. Let them also take their eyes away from government money, because government cannot do it all alone. LMC also need to do that. The NFF also need to do that. There is poor marketing in the clubs. There is poor structure in the clubs. It's you find people signing contracts and we don't know what is in the club. The contracts that they are signing, we don't know how much players are being paid on Twitter. How many of them know what have a way of interacting? So, my brother, if we start talking about administration of clubs in this country, we probably won't end this program.
Okay, good morning there. Studio Ileke joining us from Kaduna. We'll just hang on there. We're coming back to you, Ikena Okonkwo. You are just listening to me what he said concerning our league, because if you had to do well at the CAF Confederation or CAF Champions League, we need to get it right from home. MPFL, NNL, Nationwide League One, all needs to be in place. Even the grassroots for football development, we need to work on all this before we can get it right.
You know, if I'm invited today to any football stakeholders meeting or summit or whatever, you know what I'll suggest straight away is that, if possible, let's allow Nigerians to rest in terms of managing our football, especially when it comes to the league, at the league level. Let's possibly ask either CAF or FIFA to send in some persons to come and manage our leagues, especially the MPFL. You know why? Let them do it for like maybe a 2-3 year period and set some
standard
foundation, you know. And then if the league management is go back to Nigerians, they will be able to understand what it means. Because I don't know why every season we have 20 clubs playing in the NPFL or in whatever it need to be called later, because with the changes, I don't know whether it will change the nomenclature or whatever. Now, towards the end of last season, there was this rumor here and there that they want to increase the number of participation, the number of teams that are participating, that will participate to 24. And the question is, must the number of people participating in the team determine whether the team will run, the league will run? Number of teams number of clubs actually participating in the league determine whether the league will run or not. Because as a matter of fact, if you have 10 quality, or let me not try to categorize, but if you have 10 clubs that are ready to compete and to bring out the stuff that we need, why not allow those 10 to roll? Why must the league be seen as a platform for people to come and, show that they have got whatever in their state? The state government is so encumbered with so much issues in the state. Look at what's happened, flood. So let the state government get their hands off these things and let the individuals that are ready
run it.
We are in this country where some private clubs in the past had been stifled. The kind of policies, the kind of operational, modalities, edge them by the side naturally. They are able to compete and all. So if someone like Dangote, someone like Boa, someone like all of these big guys that we have in Nigeria, they are ready to come invest in Nigerian football. But the problem is that they are not seeing anything that makes sense to them. So if we have each state, there's no state in Nigeria that can produce one or two individuals that have interest in Nigerian football. I can bet you. We have 36 states in Nigeria. And there is no state
that you will not find,
one or two individual ready to bring his millions or billions to put in football. But the problem is that these individuals, they are finding a way to edge them out because they won't be able to play those games with them. Those games that don't mean things that look like business.
Well, we just have to call it there, really. A lot of issues affecting Nigerian football. We need to get it right. If really we want to make Nigeria to perform very well at the CAF inter-club competitions, all we need to do is to look inward and solve the problem administratively. Let's run our football like business and things will actually get better. Gone are those days where, especially in the 80s, where you have so many private clubs and they were doing so well. But right now, out of the 20 teams, probably at least 18 are being run by state government. And if the state government cannot run it, let them allow individuals to come with their money and let this actually work. For Nigerian Professional Football League, we want to be doing well at the CAF Champions League or CAF Confederation, and we need to do it right. Tunji Eleke and Ikena Konko, they've been talking tough concerning this, and now let's go international as we look at some matches will be coming up tonight. And let's start with English Premier League fixtures. Matches will be coming up there. A lot of matches, although Arsenal Man City has been postponed. And let's look at the fixtures concerning English Premier League. Bournemouth, Southampton, Chelsea, Brentford, Liverpool, West Ham, Newcastle, Everton, Manchester United, Tottenham Hotspur. Let's take it 2-2 with each of you. Brentford, Chelsea, Ike, now you should be on that, and Liverpool, West Ham, quickly.
Okay, so what do you expect? We expect that the two teams, Chelsea and Liverpool, continue their revived moment. They seem to be revived. The past 2-3 games, they have been able to get some good results. I'm talking about victories, and I don't see either West Ham or Brentford stopping either of these teams. I mean, these top level teams, Chelsea and Liverpool. So I don't see these midweek matches or games to be different from what I expect. However, these two teams also have what it takes to either pin Chelsea or Liverpool, maybe to a draw if they don't really, watch it. Most times, especially for Chelsea, the mid-level teams or those that will look at, maybe they want to battle for relegation. Most times, or sometimes rather, they tend to pose some challenge for Chelsea. Chelsea want to prove their point when they meet the top guys and all. Similar thing to Liverpool, especially in recent times. But I want to believe that they will want to continue with the revived moment they have got in recent games they played.
Let's see what's going to happen concerning Chelsea in that game and also against Brentford, while Liverpool against West Ham, a big one there. Well, quickly, Newcastle will be playing against Everton. Tottenham away to Manchester United at Old Trafford. Let's look at that game with Tuji Eleke. Tuji, you want to bet with me that Manchester United tonight will be having a big one against Tottenham Hotspur and Everton away at St. James Park. Let's have you.
Well, I'm not a fan of betting anyway, but I'm just going to say that it's Tottenham Hotspur, no matter how good they seem to be, they've not been able to do a home and away against Manchester United in a very, very... I think it was last year, or in 2020, actually, where we saw Tottenham Hotspur defeating Manchester United by 6-1. That was one at the Old Trafford. That was the biggest one that we saw in a very long time. But last season, we saw Manchester United defeating Tottenham Hotspur 3-2 at Manchester United, also beating Tottenham away from home at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium 3-0 also. A game of two very technical managers. One manager that talking about Antonio Conte would want to. He's setting up his side to not concede goals. If we look at how they have been playing their games this season, his team, he's not attack-minded. He's just looking for that moment of magic where probably Son or unfortunately we don't have Richarlison in this game. Probably where that break from Son, and then connect with Harry Kane to wreak some havoc in the attack. But that's probably what it is for Manchester United. They still don't have enough going draw in this particular game. I don't know why my mind is telling me it's for a draw. For the other game, we're talking about Chelsea and Everton.
No, let's look at Newcastle Everton.
Yes, Newcastle Everton. Another very, very tough one for Frank Lampard. It's unfortunate that for every time that Frank Lampard tries to revive Everton, he is always one win, and then the next game he loses it. And all of that. We saw how they performed against Manchester United. They tried. Great from Alex Iwobi, but at the end of the day, they just didn't have enough to Manchester United. United just had the greens in Cristiano and his guys there to get the game done. We saw, now we are seeing them playing against Newcastle United, who a lot of us had not seen the fact that they've turned St. James Park to a fortress. It's pretty difficult to beat Newcastle United at Park now since the takeover of the Saudi-led consortium. So for this game, I'm still going to give it to Newcastle United, and for Manchester United, Tottenham, I am seeing a draw in that particular game. I don't think Tottenham Hotspur will be able to nick that.
Good one there. Thank you very much, you Eleke, joining us from Kaduna. I want to appreciate your time with us. Thank you very much. And now we quickly run through some transfer stories. Chelsea are interested in signing Leeds Canadian striker Jonathan David in January. That's they want to get Jonathan David. And you also have Juventus are keen to sign Atletico Madrid's Argentine defender Rodrigo de Paul. They want to sign Rodrigo. They are really keen to get Rodrigo to their kit right now. Well, good one for Juventus, and for Chelsea, they also are going for Jonathan David, the Canadian player. Those are the two transfers we are just bringing for you. Matches will be up in the EPL and all that. Matches will also be coming up in La Liga, German DFB, Copa Italia, and all that. But for the few we can bring to you, just have to let you have a feel of that. Well, Plateau United and Rivers United, we wish them all the best as they fight against Libya teams 2nd and 9th of November. Well, Ikena Okonkwo, before we go, just one word to these two clubs to encourage them. Just one word. Time is not on our side.
Based on the players they are pursuing, well, it's probably they are looking at January or even the summer of next season, because of next year. It's always not that easy to get good players in January. However, whatever goes for them, they should be able to be careful with recruitment, because already they have done a lot, but they have not really been able to get so much from it.
Good one there, coming from Ikena Okonkwo, and also to you, Eleke, join us from Kaduna. I am Adeniyi Ajishafe. Thanks for watching.